Ahead on 12 News, some of the busiest places around, all in the name of moms. Plus, a hot gardening trend that could be ideal for Minnesota's climate. But first,
I called one of the resorts and they said they still had 30 inches of ice on it.
winter still has an icy grip on a springtime tradition. 12 News starts right now. The walleye fishing opener is Saturday, and many northern lakes are still covered in sheets of ice.
So for this fishing opener, anglers are turning to Plan B. And 12 News reporter Shannon Slatton explains just what that is.
This year, since many anglers can't head north, expect more people to be out on metro lakes and rivers.
I was doing a little bit of scouting last night, but yeah, it's going to be focused on the rivers this year.
Matt Holzer really hopes his fishing opener isn't going to bite.
From what I found last night, I'm a little more excited now for a walleye opener.
Well, I have over here, I have some fat heads.
Anticipation came late this year,
They do jump out.
just like the warm weather.
I called one of the resorts and they said they still had 30 inches of ice on it.
Matt is like many anglers at Cabela's.
This has been a very strange year.
It's hopeful.
Anglers who are waiting and hoping for ice to clear out.
We're seeing a lot of people that have, I would say, delayed their fishing opener purchases, waiting for that ice to come off the lake.
I have large suckers.
The spring fishing season is one of the busiest times here.
So fishing is really, it's like a second Christmas for us.
Clerks have stocked and waited.
The last couple of days, really the last week and a half, it's picked up, and I think we'll have a good, strong opener.
They've waited for people to change their plans or maybe their fishing strategy.
I'm gonna try fishing more for my pike than kind of both walleye and northern.
If the fish aren't or can't bite, fish for something else.
It's gonna have colder water temperatures, and pike are probably gonna bite better because they like cold water.
And even if winter does hold on too long,
All the lakes on 94 in North Dakota were still frozen, which was scary.
anglers here believe
This year, you're definitely going to have to focus on the rivers
when it's opening day, someone has to cast the first line.
because it's a good time of year to get out on the lake.
And the DNR says don't be too disappointed that you have to stay in the metro. 12 state record fish have been caught here in the 7-county region. In Brooklyn Park, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And there's no shortage of lakes to fish if you want to stay a little closer to home. The DNR's website has a map that shows access points to all the lakes in Hennepin County. Of course, no ice around here. The DNR also has a new Lake Finder app that you can download on your smartphone. And we have links to both at 12.tv. Just click on featured links.
The Anoka Hennepin School District is trying to determine how one of its buses caught fire. A passerby captured this photo showing how the front of the bus burst into flames. It happened Friday afternoon on Highway 169 and at 109th Avenue. The driver was in between dropping off kids, so there were no students on board at the time of the fire. The driver and the assistant were able to make it off of the bus safely.
African immigrants have teamed up with the cities of Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park to get more members of their community involved in government and in schools.
There are many schools around our communities where there are no parents involved in the schools, and so they just don't know how to get involved.
They hope to change that, starting with a meeting last night that drew an overflow crowd to Brooklyn Park City Hall. They say immigrants are a growing part of the community, but have been standing on the sidelines for too long, and they want to have a voice in everything from criminal justice to housing issues.
There's this narrative that African immigrants are not involved. They don't care about issues that are important to the community in which they live. They only care about their immediate family. But we think we can change that narrative. We can shift their role from observers to leaders, from the sidelines into the mainstream.
Supporters say it was a groundbreaking event. Their goal is to eventually identify dozens of new community leaders.
A new restaurant with a rather unique name opens its doors today in downtown Robbinsdale. Pig Ate My Pizza officially opens for business in the same building that housed the popular Travail restaurant. Pig Ate My Pizza is the brainchild of the chefs behind Travail. That restaurant is moving to a new location down the street this fall. Today, the 16 staff members were hard at work preparing for what they expect to be a busy opening weekend.
And tonight's the night. We're opening up for everybody, so we're getting ready to catch this big boulder of human beings that are about to jump into this place. But We have a feeling that people are going to like the space.
While they expect to be busy, restaurant staff says the wait time for customers should be shorter than it was for Travail. Something called straw bale gardening is becoming more popular in the metro and across the country.
12 News reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden now to show us how it's done.
Do this in a parking lot if you want to. You can do it on a corner of a concrete patio.
Joel Carlston is an avid gardener. His book on straw bale gardens is on the New York Times bestsellers list. He says there are many advantages to gardening this way.
No weeds, seeds from last year. There's no diseases or insect carryover from the previous season.
And it's simple to start. All you need is a bale of straw.
The inside of the bale, we're going to convert from being straw, what everybody would recognize as oat straw or wheat straw, and we're going to turn it into soil.
You just need to make sure it's straw and not hay.
Straw bales are sterile, so there should be no weed seeds inside of them.
Then you do what's known as conditioning the straw. You pour lawn fertilizer over the top of the bale.
You water the bales every day, wet them down really good, but you put fertilizer on every other day. And what this fertilizer is doing is it's feeding the bacteria inside that bale.
That fertilizer heats up the bacteria inside the bale, creating a warm environment for the plants to grow.
For about 2 weeks, those bales will get really hot.
Now it's time to plant. You can transplant seedlings right into the straw, or you could use seeds.
You're going to smooth the potting mix out all the way to the edges, all the way to the end, just make a nice flat surface. When we plant our seeds, we're going to just put them right in that layer of potting mix, cover them up, and we're going to plant in a checkerboard pattern. So like every white square on a checkerboard, instead of planting in rows.
And you just keep watering it, basically, like you would normally.
Yep, keep watering it.
Carson says you can grow practically anything in a straw garden.
This is a great way to grow tomatoes. You'll get the best tomatoes ever using this mechanism.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Straw bale gardening is popular in cold climates like Minnesota because you don't have to wait for the soil to heat up before you can plant. That means you can get a jump on your garden. For more information on straw bale gardens, log on to our website, 12.tv. Something new.
Yeah, best tomatoes.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Take his word.
This weekend is supposed to be the one for moms to just sit back and relax.
But not everyone is putting up their feet. See how some local businesses are getting ready for the big day. And then later in sports, Maple Grove and Elk River battle for conference honors in boys tennis.
But first, a check of your AccuWeather forecast.
It is Mother's Day weekend, and the last thing you want to do is buy Mom a terrible gift.
No. Well, here are 5 gifts you might want to avoid. According to MSN Money, number 5 is cleaning equipment. 4th on the list, a new pet. That's just more bills and more worries for Mom, I guess. Number 3, roses. They say save that type of flower for Valentine's Day. Number 2, wrinkle cream. Who would do that? The last thing you want to do is tell Mom she's old and wrinkly. And the number 1 worst gift on the list, that would be diet or fitness products. It's obvious. Imagine someone hinting to you that you're overweight. Not what you want on Mother's Day.
Idea.
But many small local businesses do benefit from Mother's Day.
From flower shops to brunch buffets, treating Mom this holiday weekend can be a boon for business. Forgive Mark Devening if he doesn't have time to smell the roses. Right now, his hands are full.
Trying just to get everything, it's just a constant go, go, go.
It's all hands on deck this weekend. Mother's Day and prom season are in bloom, and for this small family-owned floral shop, it's the most profitable time of the year.
Mother's Day has an awful lot of drop-ins because everyone is kind of last minute.
Consider this, the shop normally buys around 300 flowers per week. This week, they bought 5,000 flowers.
You can come in, we've got stuff made up for you, we got a variety of prices, we've got vases, we've got baskets.
Just don't stop by on Sunday.
Sunday we're gonna be closed because I got a mom too.
Hi, this is Maddie calling from Edinburgh to confirm your Mother's Day brunch reservation and see if you're still planning on joining us.
At Edinburgh USA, brunch is on the menu and moms are the main priority.
Let's get her going on sausage right away.
Executive Chef Jim Malinowski will serve brunch for nearly 1,300 on Sunday.
We've got fish, which will be breaded later today. We've got fried chicken. We have sauteed chicken.
It takes his crew a solid week to prepare this special brunch. They'll do all the work so moms don't have to.
Bring them on out. Treat them to brunch.
And if you're headed to brunch with Mom, keep in mind reservations are usually recommended. They are not sold out over at Edinburgh, USA, but they are very close. So few more. Call ahead. That's right. Coming up on 12 News, an alternative idea for Mom, and this one involves a new local musical theater production.
But first in sports, Terry Tuma gives some helpful hints for this weekend's fishing opener. John Jacobson, and that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with Sports Now. And if you watch this tennis match, you might pick up a few pointers if you're a tennis player. I mean, these are pretty good teams.
Yeah, these guys can play, and top 2 teams in the conference comes down to the last match of the season and the conference play, and it was a good one. Maple Grove's boys tennis team reached the state tournament for the first time last season, and they may be just as good or better this spring. But could they knock off defending state champion Elk River to claim the Northwest Suburban Conference title? Well, those teams met up in Elk River as Maple Grove looked to end Elk River's long conference winning streak. It's Charlie Atkins in the near court at number 2 singles for Maple Grove against Sam Giroux. Atkins gets the overhead winner for the point here. But left-hander Giroux is steady, and he takes this point as Atkins returns it into the net. Giroux goes on to win the match for the Elks, 6-1, 6-4. To number 2 doubles, Maple Grove's Jacob Andrus just avoids falling into the net here. It sets up a shot sliced up the middle by Nate Nemeth for a crimson point. Elk River's Logan Burns and Noah Steichen take this point and a good match, 6-2, 6-4. In the number 1 singles match, Maple Grove's Zach Atkins is in the near court. He'll take this point against Josh Giroux, but Josh Giroux wins the match 6-1, 6-love for the Elks. To first doubles, Derek Marvin serves, and Trevor Kleinshay puts it away for Maple Grove. But Elk River's Josh Chuba and Nathan Chantamontre pull out a good match, 6-3, 6-4, as Elk River edges Maple Grove 4-3. The Osseo and Maple Grove softball teams play under the lights at Maple Grove Junior High Friday night. Maple Grove won twice Thursday, while Osseo looked for a win at home against unbeaten Anoka. Sophomore Caroline Myers getting a rare start as the Orioles pitcher, and it doesn't go well early for her. Emily Brigham leads off the game with a home run to left, 1-0 Tornadoes after 1. But Myers settles down and keeps her team in the game after that. Trailing 2-1 in the 5th, the Orioles tie it. Taylor Bridgman with the slap hit to third. The overthrow allows Courtney Calkins to score, and it's a 2-2 game through 5. Bottom of the 6th with a run already in. Megan Nivison drives a ball to right center for a hit. Alyssa Delmonico and Laura Seepman score on Nivison's double, and it's 5-2 Orioles. It turns out they would need all of those runs scored in the 6th as Brigham slugs a 2-run homer in the 7th, but Anoka's rally falls short as Osseo wins 5-4 thanks to Nivison's big hit.
I knew all day that I was just had that feeling like that I was going to get that big hit, and I did, and it all just came right out, and it felt great.
The Osseo-Park Center girls lacrosse team has had a lot of close losses this season. They were trying to reverse that trend when they hosted Holy Family. Hannah Foote makes a run to the goal and scores here for OPC. Emily Magner beats her defender, sets up Shina Perro for the shot and goal, and OPC builds an early lead against the Fire. But Holy Family comes back. Abby Hanscom scores in front. Ariana Marciniak answers for Osseo-Park Center with a goal from the free position, but Holy Family leads it 8-7 at halftime. And it's all Fire in the second half. Nice passing to McKenna Turner for the goal here. And then another nice pass sets up Madison Schomeyer for the marker. Holy Family scores 5 straight goals to start the second half, and they go on to win it 14-10. It's a big weekend for Minnesota anglers. The fishing opener for walleyes is at 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning. I talked to Channel 12's tackle Terry Tuma about the very late spring. Some lakes up north still have ice, and Terry says catching a lot of walleyes may be tough for anglers out this weekend.
It's going to be a tougher bite, especially for the bigger fish. The males may be somewhat more aggressive. Again, depending on the water temperature is going to be the big factor. Jig and minnow, as the old standby, is always going to be good, especially this year with the higher water levels in some of the bodies of water and the colder water temperatures. Live bait rigs with minnows again. And if you can get your hands on some leeches, that's going to be also very productive. Leeches do produce opening weekend. Generally speaking, when you have the 45-degree water temperature and so forth, and then trolling crankbaits, and generally speaking, it's going to be either with a 3-way swivel rig or with long lining crankbaits in the shallower water, anywhere from 7 to 14 feet.
Thanks, Terry. And he's going to be back for his 23rd year of Fishing Tips here on Channel 12 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday, May 23rd, will be his first tip.
All right, he'll probably be at the fishing opener, but maybe keeping secret the hot spot,
That's always
right?
where he's going, right?
Thanks, John. Still ahead, it's catchy, colorful, and your kids may enjoy it too.
We will review or preview the new production of Godspell Jr. when we come back. Give your mom a splash of color on this Mother's Day.
And we are not talking flowers or fancy jewelry. Renee Bonneau shows you how a night at the theater can wake up your weekend.
The catchy beats and brilliant clothing are guaranteed to draw you in.
It's bright, it's colorful, so many amazing dances, just amazing choreography. Good things, yeah!
This isn't some modern rock opera. It's a 42-year-old musical that deals with a topic that dates back much further than that.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! It's the parables. It's Jesus teaching his followers. It's his followers finding him.
Front Porch Musical Theater is presenting Godspell Jr. at Maple Grove Junior High for the next 2 weekends. Unlike the original musical, this version was written for a younger cast.
Seed is the Word of God.
Hunter Frazier is the energetic Jesus, who says while the show is a lot of fun, it's pretty powerful too.
At the beginning, Jesus just starts out and brings life to everyone around him. And then when he dies, everyone feels like that life has been removed from them, but really it hasn't, and then he comes back, and again the joy returns.
They hear the word with a good and honest heart.
This is the theater company's largest show of the season with 43 kids in the cast, and they say their audience is sure to have as much fun as they're having. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Renee Bonneau.
Godspell Jr. is at Maple Grove Junior High School Friday through Sunday, May 10th through the 19th. The prices are $12 for adults, $10 for seniors, and $8 for children and students. For showtimes and tickets, go to frontporchmusicaltheater.com. Looks like a lot of fun, and they look like yeah, they look like they're pretty good.
Yeah, good production.
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corner is coming up next, and we hope you can join Delane Cleveland and Shannon Slatton here for 12 News Weekend.